This is Jimmy Bach, along with my producer Chandler Holmes, and this is History with Jimmy. And this is episode 53, and this is for the veterans and for Veterans Day that's coming up on Tuesday. And we have a lot of different things about veterans, and this is one of them that we just got that I thought was pretty important. In World War I, which this particular poster here is from, and it had local names on it. The Sigfridses, the Welches, and when I went to that family and took them this poster, that was their grandfather and his brother were on there. They had different family members. There may be other local family members on there because this is about the 109th, which was right here in this area. And we have a lot of information about the 109th. So this is about how Veterans Day came about. When Hot Lips Edwards joined the Army in May 1918, he never played a bugle in his life. And this is what a bugle looks like, okay? And we have one here. It's from the same era as what this story is about. A few months later, after joining the Army, Edwards was off to France to join General Pershing's American Exploratory Forces, which he would soon become the lead bugle in Pershing's famous Drum and Bugle Corps. In November 1918, in the 11th hour, the 11th day, the 11th month, General Pershing ordered Edwards to sound taps. Now this command was a bit confusing to Edwards, as he normally only played that sad, soulful tune at funerals and at the end of the day. No one to argue, he stood next to a railroad car in the forest of Compiègne and did as he was told. Later, Edwards learned that he blew the call that signified the end of the Great War, which World War I was known as the Great War, or the war to end all wars, which we know that didn't happen. The day would become known as Armistice Day, a day to celebrate peace. And then 36 years later, it would become Veterans Day, 5/19/25, 7:20 p.m. The bugle that sounded the end of the First World War is in the National Museum of American History. And this bugle is almost identical to the one that Hot Lips Edwards blew to end World War I. So that was something that we have here. We just got this. And as we go to Veterans Day, we have different stories to tell. And we have some things here. Here's some different helmets that Chandler had talked about in one of the YouTube episodes that he did. And then we also have, this is from Willard Sorber, which was his uniform, and his dog tags are there. And so that was just donated to us as well. Then we also have Lest We Forget. And that's one of the things that we try to emphasize today about remembering veterans, and not just on Memorial Day, not just on Veterans Day, but on many things. And this is a book that was donated by Jake Beluda, who I'm sure many of you know. He's an antique collector. He's done different YouTube episodes. He's one of my mentors. And this book has the memory of men that had died in service. A lot of them were local people. And so we have this book. If you'd like to come and see it, we have it here at the museum. But one of my things that I do as curator is I go to buy items for the museum. And many times when I do that, I'm dealing with somebody that maybe doesn't want to know my name or doesn't want me to know his name. We don't meet at their house or anything. We try to meet in a public place because of each one not knowing the other one. And with many things going on today, it's a little bit safer. So one of the things that I was looking for after getting this, this was given to us, and this is mustard papers for Peter Groover, whose son had the G&W lunchroom, and he's buried up at the Pine Hill Cemetery. And this had to do with the Spanish-American War that he was in. And this was his papers, and they were given to us, and Cheryl laminated it so we have the record of it. And but one of the things that I did not have a lot of was anything to do with the Spanish-American War, which was a very short war. It only lasted about 10 weeks. It started out because somebody blew up one of the ships in the harbor down by Florida. I think it was called the Maine, and that started this war. And at the end of the war, Spain actually got pushed out of the United States. So that was one of the things. So, but I didn't have anything else except this paper. So I saw somebody had an ad for a medal that was a Spanish-American War medal. If you served, you got this medal. So I got in touch with the gentleman who had this particular medal, and we got together to meet in a parking lot. And I noticed something very strange about this gentleman. And this is really touched me because you'll understand as I go on in this story. As he was getting out of his car, I could see that he wasn't walking properly. As he got closer, I could see that his face was a little disfigured. And so we shook hands, and he showed me the medal and confirmed that it was authentic and it was okay. And I'd like to ask people when I get things, any of the story behind it, who it belonged to, you know, that sort of thing, so that when I'm doing a tour or somebody asks me a question, I can answer intelligently about that particular item. Well, he was selling this item because it wasn't something that he collects. As a veteran, he collects other things. And so we got to talking, and I said something to him about his physical being that you could see, and he said, my jaw was crushed. He said, I have tubes in my stomach. He said, I have severe headaches. And then the next thing that he said really took me back. He said, I lost my kids, I lost my wife, I lost my family, I lost my friends when I came back. Meaning to me that he suffered something pretty bad. And normally veterans don't talk about what they happened to them when they served or whatever. And this got a little emotional for me because I could see it was really affecting him. And I said, well, what happened to you? He said, I don't want to talk about it. He said, they tried to take away my pension. He said, they tried to take my disability away. And he said, I don't want to talk about it. So I did not press the issue. But I could see that it was emotionally, it was really affecting him just even talking about this. And then I could see tears coming down his face. And to me, I had a hard time watching this, listening to somebody that served, and something drastic, seriously happened to this gentleman. And I said, I'm sorry, sir. I know you don't want to talk about it anymore. And he was walking away. I could see him wipe his face. And he said, I got to go pick up my kids. So I knew that at some point he was going to be maybe getting back to a little bit about normal. But you see, what happens is it's just not the men and women that get killed in action and don't come back. It's also the ones that do come back that have mental and physical issues. And so many times, apparently, they're not addressed properly and stuff. And so I said a prayer for this gentleman, not knowing his name, as I left. And I still think about him to this day whenever I see that medal. And I hope he's okay. So this is one of the things that we talk about with Veterans Day. And one of the things that I'd like to emphasize when we talk about this, if you know somebody that served that's a veteran, it's always nice to say, thank you for your service. But it's a little bit better if you can do something for that veteran. Maybe call him occasionally, talk to him, mow his grass, shovel snow, take out his garbage. Maybe just take him for a ride. Veterans are looking there, but most of them will not talk about what happened or what they went through. And I'm sure that if there were World War II soldiers that we were able to interview, we'd find that out as well. So please pass this on to the younger generation so they understand about what veterans and people go through, and to remember these veterans, not only on Memorial Day, not on Veterans Day, but every day, because we have freedoms that other countries don't have because of the men and women that stand up for our country. And we are always to remember. So this is Jimmy Bach, along with my producer Chandler Holmes, signing off. Thank you for watching. Please click the like and subscribe. It helps us to get more people to know about it. And if you'd like to come for a tour of the museum, you can call me at 570-905-7519. It's only done by appointment, and it takes about an hour and a half or so to do a good tour. Thank you again for watching.